Hello and welcome to Myth Refreshed, the podcast, where I invite you to meet some of the amazing guests that are going to be taking the stage at the Myth Refreshed event that's happening at the Omnibus Theatre on the 18th of March. Tickets are available now. Myth Refreshed is an event where we invite artists from different cultures and across different artistic disciplines to resurrect the power of myth and reawaken the hero in you. And today I would like to introduce you to one of our fabulous artists. Their name is Wura Kareem, also known as Wura. Wura Kareem is a freelance poet that goes by the pen name Arrow. Since they were young, they taught themselves poetry, looking for inspiration in radical figures of the past and present, such as Audre Lorde and Wole Soyinka. Having trained in drama for 4 years under the Leinster School of Art and Drama, they incorporate the theatricality of the medium into their words and vice versa. They've performed at Palace of the Dogs, XDTMH, opening as well as being a frequent performer at poetry jams at venues like the Ori Jam and Peng Fem Jam. Arrow's work lies at the intersection of the personal and universal. It explores themes such as race, gender, and time while remaining relevant to everyday queer life. Welcome, Wura. How are you, Arrow?
I'm feeling really good today.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Where does Arrow come from?
Arrow, okay, so it's basically my name backwards.
Wow.
So Wura, Aru, but also because I see the name as like channeling a lot of my identity as like a Sagittarius, and so an Arrow is the sign of a Sagittarius, as well as that. Just having direction is something that I really value. And yeah, it's just symbolizes like freedom for me.
Wow, I love that. And yes, you are aiming for the stars.
I
Yes,
am.
you are. And where does your name come from, Wura?
So, Wura is a Yoruba name, so it's like Nigerian, and it basically means gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Golden Arrow.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really it's a beautiful name, to be honest. I don't know how, like, there's no other name that I would ever pick, to be honest. I'm really happy that I have my name.
Oh, bless you. And where were you raised? I'm so nosy.
Yeah.
I'm so nosy, but I do
know.
love to know about where people's backgrounds are from and how that's inspired their art. So that's why I ask.
That's really interesting because I think most people would assume that I am American just because of the way that I talk.
Clearly you are, right?
I am literally from Atlanta. No, I'm from Ireland. I wasn't born and raised there. Well, I was born, but I wasn't raised there fully because I moved from Italy to Scotland to Nigeria to London. Here we are, you know. It's a lot of influences.
Oh my goodness me. Never judge a book by its beauteous cover. There is just so much more in it. So how long have you been in London?
Really only about 6 months.
Oh, you're so fresh.
I'm so fresh.
Oh my goodness, it's even more of a blessing to have you here.
I feel so like done through, you know, like London is just really intense. So I feel like the first few months are a time to like get used to how intense it can be and how like you're going to pace yourself if you're living here long term, you know what I mean? I think that's what the first few months for me has been here, just like pacing myself.
But you've been very live on the poetry scene.
Yes.
So you've only been here 6 months, but clearly you've got your hands on all the pies.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Does London inspire your art in any way? Have there been any influences from the poetry scene in London?
For sure. In terms of like just everyday life, there's just an atmosphere to London and to like the way that people kind of occupy space in a way here. It kind of feels like even though everybody has such a strong presence, they all kind of mesh into each other without knowing. And even though it can feel really impersonal, like day-to-day life in London, there's just still like this underlying sense of connection that really inspires what I write. So just like seeing people walking on like in the station can like really elicit feelings. It's just like, I don't know, it's just something so specific to London. It's this contrast between liveliness and connection and just like this sadness and separation that really just sparks something, you know. But yeah, and it's a big contrast to like other places that I've lived, because they tend to be a lot more like calm, so you really have to like reach for the stars to see the beauty in a way, which is something that's really helped me. Like living in Ireland, I feel like I've been endowed with that gift of really searching for beauty in everything, which is also in my poetry as well. Like there's a sense of it's like a beautiful sense of desperation, I'd say, for like life, and a lust for life, I feel. But that, and then coming to London where there's so much in your face all the time, and it feels a lot, you know. It's like basically what I said. I have to pace myself with like consuming all of this inspiration and just like all this beauty at once, but yeah, the hardship balances it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's one thing to write or to be in a space where you look up and you can see the stars. But in London, you kind of just have to know that they're there under all the pollution.
It's true. It's so true. Like, goddamn, the pollution really hits you. Like, you just feel it. But then, yeah, you don't really have to look too hard. It's kind of there if you look, but then you can confuse it for satellites as well. So
this is true.
Yeah.
And I need my glasses, so I'm like, oh
yeah, me too. Literally, I can barely see. You know,
so why poetry? Why is poetry your vehicle? What called you?
See, I think poetry feels like reality TV to me in a way, because I can say writing prose, writing things that can like feel linear, it gives me concentration in life, right? Like writing those things in like linear ways, and seeing how like, you know, life navigates and all that kind of stuff, and allows me to like direct that energy to a specific place. But I think with poetry, it's like this unlike filtered acceptance of the whole world, because you're really factoring in like place, thought, melody, like so many things within 3 lines that can encompass like so many people's experiences. So I feel like for me, like writing poetry, it's like each line is its own universe, and you get to explore that universe over and over and over again in so many different contexts. But yeah, I think that's where I think poetry, the power of poetry lies for me, in just accepting the mundanity and like the too muchness of life sometimes, and like balancing those together so I can like do life.
When did you realize poetry was your thing?
Poetry, I wouldn't say it's my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a big thing. Yeah, it's a really big thing. It's a really big part of my life. But I'd say like only around 3 months ago. Yeah, because that's when I really started like being less afraid of like my work and being less afraid of my own capabilities. So yeah, once you let go of that fear, then like you're really open to a lot more. And I think that's when like a lot of intense healing for me started taking place in my life.
Wow. So you are going through, like, you are clearly on a quest to go outside of comfort zone.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And why is that important?
I think for me, it's just about processing life. Going out of comfort zones, it's like you get to process what is happening day to day, but you also get to like reach outside of like your reality in a way, and you kind of get to like go, I don't know how to explain it. You go for things outside of your reality by looking within your own reality, you know? And I think it's just a thing of trusting in yourself and trusting in like the fact that if you can explore outside of your comfort zones, then you can really like, you can go above and beyond in a way. Like you don't have to be limited by your own mind, because your mind is limitless and there's infinite possibility, as people say. But yeah, it's just really constantly hammering that into my head. That's what poetry is for me. That like get out of your comfort zone. Like there's nothing there really. There's sometimes something there, but most of the time there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's a heroic quest, I think,
to
follow where actually there might not even be a path at all.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a path, so look at me right here.
There is that trust that creator's got the master plan, and we are just
True.
small pieces, in this wonderful masterpiece that's constantly unfolding. So what called you to Myth Refreshed? What resonated with you when you heard the open call?
I saw a specific word for grief in there, and grief and like love and how all these things interconnect for just like a daily experience. And I was like, I think I can bring a interesting perspective to this, because I feel like my work really focuses on grief in everyday life, like parts of yourself dying every day and parts of like other people dying, and how you resonate and how you like come to terms with that, and how you come to terms with like your existence, and how you're just constantly refreshing yourself essentially. And I think like, yeah, grief of like pasts that didn't happen and like futures that may not happen. I think one really important thing for me is acknowledging how like larger systems in life can like rob us of potential, and can like have robbed our ancestors and have robbed like maybe our parents, our grandparents of like these opportunities to be the versions of themselves that like they could have been. But I think, as I said, poetry kind of grounds me in a reality and like allows me to understand that even though those things didn't happen, the most perfect thing that's happening is right now. And it's like, yeah, I really try to bring that in with like my words, and like specifically I'm a really sensory person, because I'm neurodivergent, and like a lot of things, especially like words, like how they click, how they sound in like different contexts, are really, really intriguing to me. So I try to like help that bring people to the present in a way. So yeah, whether it be alliteration, a little bit of like pa pa cha cha cha, you know what I mean? Bring somebody back to the present. Everybody needs a little bit of presence in their life.
Now, always, darling, always needing to be called back to the present. And what can we expect from you on the Myth Refreshed stage?
Oof. I'm really excited because like I have a friend who's doing guitar for me, and they're really, really talented. Her name's Buki, right? And Buki is she's amazing at like, oof, those strings, they will play your heart up and down, like, yeah. So I'm really, really excited to collaborate with them. And also in terms of like set design, I'm really putting a lot of energy into set design. And so set design and music, that whole like vision is I think it's gonna be good. Everybody keep an eye out, because it's gonna be good. Yeah,
I love it. Talking about myths, is there a myth that calls you? Is there your favorite myth? Is there a guiding myth, or is there a myth that inspires you on your journey?
Let me see. A myth that inspires me. See, I can't really think of any myths, but I can think of this like proverb. It's like this Yoruba song. And it goes like, Batami aduko koka, Batami aduko koka timbaka with me, Batami aduko koka tim. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm feeling it.
But basically, it inspires me in a way where it's like basically means like your shoes can go kokoka, and like people will be like, oh, if your shoes don't go kokoka, then you're not like you're not up, if you know what I mean. But it inspires me in a way where it's like I don't agree with that, and it's just like Mm.
Is it like, is Cocoa the rhythm?
Kukuka is like the rhythm, but also like how your shoes will sound. So it's like your shoes, when they make the sound of,
Yeah.
it's like if in the future your shoes don't make that noise, then like people will look upon you and like, oh, you're like I'm up but you not type of thing. It's like it's like a weird proverb. Even though it means like striving for like success in the future, XYZ. For me, it doesn't necessarily inspire me, but it makes me want to counter that in the way that's like you can literally exist however you want in this world, and it's like you can find new traditions outside of tradition. And I think that's why it inspires me to create new rituals for the future.
Oh, beauteous. And I also love the fact that it reminds me that what's the point in a revolution if you can't dance? You know what I mean? So and the way that you
Speak on
walk your
it.
walk as well. Like it's not
Yes.
about the goal; it's the way that you
It's a
take. And
journey,
there
yeah.
should be that hop. There should be that joy that you bring
Exactly.
with you, even before
Exactly.
you get to the top of the mountain. It's like, damn, I'm on a journey, and
It's
this journey
true.
is good.
It's good because you only have like the right now to feel. You can't really feel the future. You can't really feel the past.
And tomorrow is
No.
not a given. So like,
Exactly.
yeah.
So it's just really about like the journey to other journeys. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
wow.
since we as other people don't end here, it's like it's never ending. You just have to constantly
Be awake and just
Yeah.
observe the miracle.
Yeah. And I feel like the best way to be awake is like being awake with other people and connecting with other people. And yeah, right now I feel so connected and so awake right now. You're a really great host.
Oh, bless you. And I think Myth Refreshed is about that community. It's just
Yeah.
so good. When Kristen and I sent out the call, we had no idea what was going to come back. And it's just warmed our hearts to know that so many people are on the same frequency. Do you know what I mean? So many freaking heroes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Like,
So what can we expect from your beauteous self in terms of future projects? Where can we catch you? What are you up to? How are you sharing your gift outside of Myth Refreshed? 18th of March, darlings.
18. I can't really say because it is freelance, so they don't come to you unless they come to you, like, you know what I mean, like, yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest, but one thing I do know is that you will be seeing me somewhere else at another time. But yeah,
We're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for coming, Arrow. May all of those arrows aim for the stars and take us all there as well. Bless you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This has been a great experience.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much for joining us at the Myth Refreshed podcast. It has only been made possible through the sponsorship and kindness of AB Recording Studios in Tooting. Please check them out if you have any podcast or video casting needs. They are amazing. We look forward to seeing you on March the 18th at the Omnibus Theatre in Clapham. Tickets are available now. Thank you, Myth Refreshed family. You are amazing.